going on, stuff like that.
Yeah. And I mean, what we were talking about with like the label and stuff. I didn't know you were going to Liberia this week. You got space? You can carry some things for me?
I'll put you in my bag.
Please do. I have to cut off a couple limbs for you to meet the weight limit, but
to get in there, right?
Yeah. I think I can live without a leg.
Nah, that's a hard life you get.
I'm sure it is.
So nobody wants to
prosthetic. Yeah, no. But I mean, I would do anything to be in Liberia right now. Well, that's not true, clearly, because if I really wanted to go, I would. But...
It's super crazy. People are flying into Liberia in April. I'm like, what's going on in Liberia right now?
Yeah, it's crazy. Hi, guys. I have hijacked the studio. You are watching a very special version of In the Fries, hosted by your very one and only Ceekaynayway. And I have, as you know, one of your very special co-hosts, Jbizz.
Yes, the girl hijacked In the Fries today. My co-host today, they couldn't make it, and hope everything is good on that end. And we here In the Fries. We rocking out with CK.
Yep.
Yes, one of Liberian most talented female artists.
Oh, don't flatter me. Yeah, we're gonna keep going.
We're gonna talk about some stuff because we gonna talk about a lot of things, trying to figure out what's the disconnect between here, over there, the women artists there and the men artists there, and the reason why certain things not going the way it go.
We might as well just strive to achieve world peace today then, because we're covering everything.
I tell you, we're gonna talk about a lot.
Yeah.
So nice having you today. Thank you for coming.
I appreciate it.
The girl drove all the way from another city Maryland to come here.
Yeah, I-95 hero. It takes nothing for me to get on the road and drive up.
Yes, this interview, this conversation we're having today, we've been trying to figure out how to make it happen for like a little while.
Yeah. You know, the adulting, I'm new to this and I don't like it.
Life, right?
Adulting life, yeah, no, it's not my favorite thing. It's not my favorite thing at all. But still, especially trying to be a creative while like paying your bills and financial freedom and breaking generational curses, and it's a lot.
It's a lot of pressure right there.
It's a lot.
All these things you try to do is a lot.
I mean, but we don't have a choice. You have one life to live and it's short. It's actually really, really short.
One life to live.
Especially if the average life expectancy for like a Black woman in America is like 77 years or 80 years. Then, by the time I'm 10 years away from being middle-aged, technically.
So people be saying, one thing I realize about people that always say this, like, we have one life to live. Me, I say, every day you wake up, you live. You have, every day you get up, every day. So you don't have one life to live. You have, I don't know, whatever age you reach to, that's the amount of lifespan you have lived.
Yeah.
So, like we talked earlier, you tell me, say, life, they think on life, and the hustle there.
And how you feel?
The hustle not rewarding.
I said that the hustle has not been loyal to me.
Loyal to you.
I've been loyal to the hustle. The hustle has not been loyal to me. What they say, life in America is not easy, yo.
You get, I bet if I corner that hustle, I ask that hustle question, I say, I don't know if she's been really loyal to us.
No, I have been loyal to the hustle for a minute. I am one of those kind of people where, like, if I have a goal, I'm like, okay, what do I need to get there? And I would do whatever it takes. I have babysat. I have driven Uber. I have done the DoorDash. I have even done like cleaning offices at the end of the day and stuff. Whatever I need to make those coins to get the studio time or the visuals or the photo shoot or to pay the promoters or to get the mixing mastering done, to pay for the beats, whatever I need the money for, I'm gonna find it legally.
Let's talk about let's get into the music, right? Mm-hmm. Let's get into the artist CK, right? Let's get into that, because for me, right, when it comes to entertainment, that's something I'm very passionate about, right?
Yes.
And the Liberian culture is something that I've been like for the past going on 5 years. I literally been dedicating my whole entire life, from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep, about the Liberian culture, because I understood how important, valuable, and how rich it is. Yes. And how like when it comes to like, a lot of people don't see what I see, right? It's a lot of money.
So tell us, what do you see?
Look, when I take a look at the Liberian culture, right, and I realize like how when other people get to try it out, like how they're so excited about it and what it does to them.
Like when outsiders come and experience the Liberian culture?
Yes.
Yeah. Especially the music.
The music, the food, because for me, for the past 5 years, what I've been testing now has really been the food.
Yeah, because you have a restaurant.
Yeah, for 5 years, Liberian food has been taking care of me, my mother, my sister, my whole entire family.
I thought you were about to say my son. I'm going to be like, wow. Children? You get children?
Yeah, I have kids. I have two kids. Yeah, you know that? I have kids. Kids, I even get there. Yeah, you get the children who...
You a father?
Yeah. Look, and it has been the so I understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And before that, before the restaurant, I was into the music industry. I was working with artists. I was doing shows. I was doing this and that, blah, blah. It was the Liberian culture. I've never been an individual where I've disconnected myself, where I say, oh, I come and go start doing American people thing or not dream. I never did that, right?
Yeah.
So I've understood that. So when people don't understand, like when I'm talking to people about like, when I'm like literally like speaking to people about how like we can do this, we can do that, and they're looking at me like, you don't know what you're talking about, you just talking nonsense. I'm like, okay.
Well, like I was saying prior to us beginning to film, it's not so much about whether or not you have the information, but if people don't see you as a resource for that information, you can't just chunk the information at them and expect it to land, especially if you're coming from a standpoint of, oh, I love Liberian culture. We have so much potential in our industry, whether it be music, whether it be food, whether it be fashion, whatever the case may be. If your goal is to help jumpstart or to push something to the next level for Liberia, you got to take some blows. You got to kind of let your ego take a back seat and be a mentor if that's what you want to do. I'm not saying it's for everybody, but if you're like, I have all of this information and I get all of this experience, you're supposed to listen to me. And it's like, I'm not forced.
So basically, the ones that are going to listen, we don't care for them.
But that's unfortunate because...
It's not, because you got to say something for entertainment. One thing I've realized, people are very disposable. Do you understand?
In Liberia, that's not the case.
No, but that's what we think. If you take a look at the whole entire music scenery right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you, okay, what happened in Liberia, the blogs and these other platforms has been suppressing, right?
Suppressing?
No, hear me.
Suppressing what?
They have been suppressing the other talents, right? Because
how?
Let me land with this one for you, right? If you take a look at what's going on right now with do you know how many new artists have popped up in the last couple of months, a couple of weeks?
How do you find those artists?
Facebook. I just be sitting
so
down.
Then, did the blog stop you from seeing it?
No, that's what I'm saying. Before we created that comedian on Facebook, I called it a blue app. Mm-hmm. Before Liberian created that comedian on Facebook, right? Where the beginner know they can just go create a content and post it, boom. Somebody can just see it before they realize that. Before you get to see a Liberian artist, it had to come from the top. It either had to come from like I don't say they did Hot FM or one of these big platforms in Liberia had to introduce those artists to us on this side before we realized that artists exist. You know what I'm saying? And
is that the blog's fault though?
No. What I'm trying to say is not their fault, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's called suppressing, right? If you're not opening something for everybody, if you're only opening it for your friends or people you know or people you can hang out with, people you can sit down and talk with.
Oh, but if you want to be talking about the industry this, the industry that, the industry everywhere is a clique. Everything it's not about you. People don't get things because they deserve it. Let's be honest. Anywhere in the world, there's a lot of things people deserve that they don't get. We all know artists who are underground and we're just like, oh my goodness, this person is so talented. Why haven't they made their big break? And that's in any culture, in any nation, in any society. The reason why people make it, it's because of connections. Yes, every once in a while, God will sparkle a little extra mercy and grace dust on somebody's head, and they just come out from the weeds. But that's not necessarily how it goes all of the time.
But the connection in other places is based off your work ethic.
Not necessarily.
Hear me. The connection in everywhere in the world, apart from our segment, right, is based off your work ethic because you know why? You have to create some type of level of value, right? For certain people to engage with you in entertainment. Like I've been in entertainment space in the Liberian space, the Nigerian space, the American space, the Ghanaian space. And in that
I thought you said you've been loyal to Liberia. It sounds like you've been culture hopping.
I said I've been I said I've been in those spaces. I haven't said I've worked in those spaces. I've been in those spaces because I have friends in those spaces, right? And I've understood one thing that connect those people in those spaces is work ethic. It's not because.
So do you say that Liberian artists don't have work ethic?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying it. They don't. Work ethic is their work ethic disgusts me.
I find that to be a bit controversial. And I'll tell you why. As a Liberian artist, I remember the day I met you. Do you remember it?
The day we met. Thinking. Was it
Let me have
Liberia,
it was
right?
in Liberia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Liberia.
It was 2021. I moved to Liberia after Peace Corps, after, the pandemic. I moved to Liberia to work under CIC, right? I got to Liberia.
Work under CIC? What do you mean about that?
Okay. So to backtrack, I didn't start doing music until maybe... Okay, I've always loved to sing, right? Since I was a little girl. I just didn't think I was doing anything more than making a joyful noise.
Okay.
It wasn't until maybe college that, you have roommates, you're singing in the shower, and it's like, oh, but you sound really nice. And I'm just like, oh, really? And I lived in a very musical home, and I got pushed to do a talent show. And, my friends at college were really supportive. And I was like, this was really nice. This was in the States.
Okay.
This was in college. I went to Rowan University in South Jersey. And so did the talent show, it was actually a benefit concert, not a talent show. And I started to realize, if I actually did put some effort into this, maybe I could do something. But, living as a child of immigrants in America, you better go to school. You better focus on your career. And at the time, I had aspirations of going to medical school. And I'm not going to lie, those biology and chemistry, biometry classes were flunking the devil out of me.
Yeah, they push you.
So, honestly, I'm not even going to lie on my parents. They never actually said I couldn't do it. I just automatically thought that I needed to rise to the occasion and be something that they could be proud of. And I just assumed my dad was a veterinarian. He's late. My mom was a dental hygienist by profession. She also was an educator. My aunt that I'm named after, she's an anesthesiologist. The list goes on and on and on. Everybody in my family seems to be some sort of overachiever. And I'm supposed to just rise up and be like, I want to be a singer. It's just
that's super crazy though, because how we all these people in the list of all these careers that you just named, basically, people that do music, kind of like artists, a lot of them make a lot of more money than those people, right?
But a lot of musicians spend the rest of their life just trying to make that one big break. Have you ever heard of the struggling artist? That's a real thing. There are a lot more people who are struggling in the art field than are making it.
Definitely.
And I've always been someone who's been very afraid of failure, just because and it's funny because in my family, I say we have overachievers, but I have never really sat down to ask them what their journey looked like to their success. I just always assumed you work, you do good in high school, you get a good scholarship, you go to a good college, you finish college, you get a good career, and so on and so forth. But when that wasn't working out for me in that way, yes, I went to college. Yes, I have a few degrees, but it wasn't an easy journey for me to get it.
Few degrees.
Yeah.
Not small more.
Because I always felt like, no, I paid for them in blood, sweat, and tears.
I have none. So
I always felt like, I was less than them. I was a disappointment to them. So that's why I was like, I can't just be, I need to be a doctor, because that would, if I can achieve that at the end, it would make up for all of these other small disappointments that I've given them over the years.
Dang.
And the funny part is, nobody said that to me. That's just something I internalized and projected and lived out. And I can't tell you how many times I've had an aunt or an uncle be like, I don't know why you always think you're running out of time. And I felt that way at 19. I graduated high school at 16, and I felt like I was running.
You have all that pressure.
Yeah, I just put it on myself.
Of you wanting to be great when it comes to these different things.
Yeah, and then also when it came to music, I felt like if I had the feedback that you are that talented, you can do this, maybe it would have been different, but I never got that feedback. I sang around my family all of the time, but it was never something that was like, you are so talented, you should pay more attention to this. It was like, that sounded cool. Did you finish your lesson?
Yeah, but
Like that.
it all comes down to that, right? Because what you was basically doing was just 10% of being an artist.
Yeah,
You
but I was
singing is
also a
10%.
child.
Yeah.
And
So okay,
when I think about,
you literally just talked about like the success rate, right?
mm-hmm,
Maybe your parents understood that. Your older family understood.
very
Maybe they
much
had a lot
so.
of friends that could sing. They could sing. They can blow the shower away. They can sing more than what he was gonna
Right.
say, and they kept going. Nothing came out of it because, like, when it comes to music and entertainment, I tell people a lot, right? It's a business, right? And there's nobody's responsibility for you to whatever you think in your headspace, right? For you to make it a reality. There's nobody business. When you make it a reality, then you contribute something to society. Then people are, okay, this is a part of society now.
So it's perfect. So it was when I finished my business, when I graduated from college, then I was like, I made the hard call. I called my mom after bawling my eyes out on one biometry exam. And up until today, I can't tell you what biometry is. I got a B, but that class took the best of me.
Class beat you up, right?
But I called my mom and I was in tears. I was walking back home because I lived off campus and I was like, Mommy, I don't want to go to medical school. And I just like sat and waited for the reaction. She goes,
says, okay.
But who forced you to go to medical school? And I was just like, oh, praise God. And she was like, well, what do you want to do? And in my mind, I was like, I ain't get that far yet. So I was like,
that was a very good answer.
It was. And it's so funny because my mom has always tried to tell me from the dawn of time. You know how people always joke, be like, black moms be like, I'm not your little friend, But my mom has always, she has said that a few times because I do act like she's my friend. And now she is. But she was very much so, you can talk to me. And it was just like, I don't think so. Like I done seen you like raise my brothers. I don't think I can talk to you. But she never like actually did anything to make me feel that way. It's just, I just assumed culturally that there are some things you just don't talk to your mom about.
Mm-hmm.
So when she was supportive like that, it was very in line for what she has said over the years, but it was just different than my perception of what the reality was. And perception is the big determining factor in all of it.
So everything with you was basically what you thought. It wasn't that you talked to anybody about.
Yeah, I just knew that wasn't an option.
You all kind of way.
Yeah, and also like I'm the youngest in my family.
Okay.
I'm the youngest of my extended family, like the youngest of the grandkids. And when you see all of these generations, like my oldest brother is the first grandchild and he's turning 50 this year. We're 20 years apart. So when you see all of these like years and years of success, who am I to come and rewrite the narrative for our family?
So basically, what's your definition of success?
My definition of success
defines
varies
a different way.
And honestly, my definition of success for myself, it varies. I don't have like, it's not something I can just give you a definition for. It's a feeling. Like I feel successful when I feel like I have achieved whatever that goal is that I set for myself. And sometimes it's financial, but sometimes it's emotional. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's mental. Sometimes it's a status thing and sometimes it's not. And success comes in stages. I don't think it's like either you're successful or you're not. Sometimes you have a successful career. You don't have a successful relationship. Sometimes you manage to buy a really nice home. And sometimes you rent in a room out of, a family member's home, but maybe you just graduated from grad school or something. Success varies. But for me, when I graduated from college, I knew that this was my window of opportunity to give music a shot. And so I'd signed up to go to the Peace Corps. And it's a long process, going to the Peace Corps.
You're working in Liberia on the Peace Corps?
No, I actually got stationed in Uganda.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So when I graduated, I signed up for the Peace Corps. And while I was doing all the whole application process, it took about a year. So all from maybe June of 2018 to May of 2019, that was just CK time,
You're just enjoying yourself.
Kind of. The graduation money runs out.
Oh, so you're literally just chilling off the graduation money.
I was traveling. I went to see family. I was having a blast, but then I also decided to start doing music. So I was recording covers. The very first cover I released was Kizzy W Bad Like That. I knew when I was doing covers, I wanted to do Liberian songs.
You know the crazy thing about that record? That record was released on my first record label I started in America.
Yeah?
Yeah, SNG Records.
I remember when he was here, I called him and I was like, my name is CK.
That's the time he was
I know
here,
you
right?
don't know me. I was in school. Yeah. Well, I had just graduated. So I called him and I was like, my name is CK. I know you don't know me, but I'm a big fan I want to do a cover to your song. And he was like, you want to cover my song?
So you see the crazy thing about, remember when we were talking earlier that you said, oh, how people are going to know you this and that. And so I told you, I said people that in entertainment in the background of music, not everybody, I know you never knew KCW was signed to the label I started. Basically, so I started a label, I had partners, and my partner was a person that went to Liberia and signed him. We signed Moose, we signed KCW, we had another kid in Nigeria called Jbizz. Kids that were in Ghana, in Nigeria, living in the house that the label was funding. All those videos, everything was funded by the label. So the problem we having in Liberia, right, when it comes to before we get there, I think let people they'll preview your song, right?
Well, I was trying to get to that.
Okay.
So I did the Kizzy W Bad Like That cover, and I posted it. I turned all my notifications off, turned the whole phone off, went to sleep because I was scared out of my mind. This is also when Chichipole Room had really blown up, and Liberian influence had just blown up, and it was Liberian blogs had real traffic. And so it was just oh my gosh, if they don't like this, they're going to roast me. And so I turned everything off. I woke up the next morning, turned everything on. At the time, I was working a front desk at a apartment building overnight. I turned the phone back on at the end of my shift, and it's all of these notifications and friends who never even really knew I could sing at all. And everybody, it's on Chichipole Room, and all of the feedback is positive. And I'm just oh, praise Jesus. They like it. So then it's I want to keep going. So that's when I did CIC Hello, but I didn't release that one. I dragged my feet a little bit, and then he dropped Morning, and I was I like this one better.
So you did that one
So
too.
I did that one, and then I did Bucky Raw, Stunner. I did a few covers. I did the female mashup when I was in Uganda. So I wrote a song after I did all the covers. I wrote a song in the bathroom at work. This Nigerian guy that I was friends with had posted a free beat on YouTube. I saw it, liked it, recorded a song to it. And I was I'm going to release this as my first single. But I was also about to leave to go to Uganda for Peace Corps.
Okay.
So I was I'm just going to do it by myself. I'm not sure if you know this guy, Sewiye. Blonde hair, light skin, Liberian guy.
Yeah, Liberian artist from
Philly.
No.
But we recorded that in his bedroom. And he shot the video for me in Philadelphia, and I took it with me to Uganda, and I waited for my 24th birthday. And from the village of Namisindwa, Uganda, I uploaded that song to YouTube. I did the distribution myself, and it was nice. But I mean, of course, I didn't become a huge celebrity off it because that's why you don't know me now. But yeah. But I was so proud of that song. It was called Seasons of a Leo. And I think it's still one of my favorite songs just because it was just such a raw part of my life. And I remember I sent that song to Kizzy W, and he was like, I mean, it's nice, but it's not a hit song. And then my cousin, Love Wea, she does Wea Productions and stuff.
Yeah, I heard about her.
I sent it to her, and she was like, yeah, it's cool, but it's not a hit song. If you have a hit song, then maybe I could do something with you, but not right now. And I was just dang.
Yeah, that's good.
And I was just dang. I sent it to CIC, and he was just this is something. And he started an online petition for me to take music as a full-time thing and not just a hobby. And I used to be on the phone like in tears. I'm like, I have to choose between Uganda and music. And I'm so scared because I've created this whole new plan. Do I scrap the plan for my passion, or do I just stick with the plan and put the passion off? So I ultimately made the decision to go to Uganda.
So you went to Uganda. You kind of just... And
I went thinking that I was doing the mature, smart thing. And the whole time CIC was just on my phone, he was like, sis, you fucking up. You need to get it together. Come on, get on your knees, pray. Let's figure this out. But you need to be doing music. You're wasting your time over there in the village.
You could still been over there doing music, though. It's impossible.
And I was doing music, but like, how much music can I really do making $200 a month as a U.S. government volunteer in the bush? Luckily I'm like extroverted and I meet people.
That's what they be doing with the Peace Corps. I thought Peace Corps be giving you like American salary out there.
No, you are a volunteer to go into rural areas of the world and provide services for them. But what Peace Corps does for you is when you come out of it, you are like shortlisted to get these international jobs, like with the UN, with WHO, that we are not a part of anymore. And all, CDC and all of these international sector jobs. So like the Peace Corps is like, it's a great door.
It's like it's like an internship basically. For people who want to, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, and I've always had such a heart for like community service and giving back, which is why I even started the Quist Union Health Initiatives, foundation in Liberia, where we give feminine hygiene products to girls, the underprivileged girls in Liberia. And I just knew that, like, if I love this so much, since I can't love music and make money off of music, since I love, charity work and giving back,
I'm just gonna just do that.
Then I'm just going to do that as my career. And then CIC is just like, fine girl, you're wasting your own time. He was like, I have your back, whatever you choose to do. But I think you should make the hard decision to come to Liberia. I got you.
That was good. Let's hand clap for one of not my favorite Liberian
Don't be petty.
artists.
But yes, we're going to clap for him. Shout out to CIC. We are still waiting for Local Champion to drop.
Even though I love the music, but the individual, not one of my most favorite person. Hand clap.
We will.
But yeah. So I think we should have the people listen to the music. Like, I really think we should let them hear, because we talk a lot about you, your journey, reason why you want to do music, and people in there encourage you and all these different things. So let the people in hear, because for me, I feel like the music is good, but I always say the artist is 10%. It takes more to be an artist than just the music. But we're gonna talk more about that. That preview, the song's fire. Preview that song right quick.
No, I'm sensitive about my stuff.
You be okay with me. You sensitive? You be just fine.
So you put in digital and noise. I hope you're ready. Hope you're ready for my trouble. So's my trouble. Baby, I'm for free. And for free. And for level. And for level.
Your melodies, vibe. Me, one thing about me, right, is that reason why I'm into this music space, right, want to help people, because I love music. That's why, like, I can.
You're not an artist, are you?
Who,
Don't
me?
let me find out that you like a underground rapper.
No, the thing about me, right, is like,
because everybody got one of them.
No, I understood, like, saying not everybody could do music. I want an individual who, like, say, okay, even if I had the urge to do music, I would not want to do it.
Did you have the urge to do music ever?
I had people forcing me to do music. People always forced me. Like, I had a record before.
I knew it.
That Young Moose wrote for me. No, he
wasn't going to get away with that. You wanted to keep that on your arm.
No, I'm saying I was forced to do it. It was
Can we hear it?
Because can you hear it?
Can we play it?
I don't even think it's on YouTube no more. So basically, right, my role model coming up with music was Diddy, right? That's my role model, right? So basically,
press pause.
But
you're not a huge fan of the individual of CIC, but Diddy is your role model.
No, I say coming up in music industry, Diddy, business Diddy. Up to now, the business Diddy is still my role model. I don't care what people say about him.
He
Business.
doesn't mean it, guys.
The business.
Don't cancel him. He doesn't mean it.
No, I'm saying business. I'm not, his personal life has nothing to do with me. Like whatever he do on his free time, that's not my business. So basically, if you take a look at like Diddy career, like how he did songs with Biggie and all that, he produced records and all that stuff. That's what he did in music. He wasn't an artist, but he was like he used his
You
light.
wanted to be the Diddy of LIB.
So he used his light to sound other people because he understood like how to navigate with marketing. So that was my inspiration in like, so that's why they forced me like, bro, do da, but not my era. So basically,
and that
right,
is okay.
It's okay.
That
It's okay. It's okay. Not everybody got to be an artist. It's not enough room for everybody.
Do you hear that? Not everybody needs to be an artist.
No, it's not. Not everybody. So we listen to the song, right? It's a good record, right? I like the production. Production was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a Liberian producer
For this song?
Yeah.
Yes, all the way around.
Who was that? Who produced that record?
So Dr. Bass, I think he's based in Minnesota right now, but at the time he was based in Ghana. He's a Liberian guy. He did the instrumental. He did the beat. CIC requested it personally. He was like, you need an I'm a piano record. I'm going to get my guy Bass to do it for you.
So Liberian based in Ghana.
He's based in Minnesota now.
Okay, let's talk about that, right? Because a lot of people don't understand something, right? Producers play a major role in the Liberian music industry. And
in every music industry?
Yeah, I mean, like we're talking about our industry right now. Producers play a major role in every music industry, right? And I had the opportunity, right, to be friends with one of the biggest producers in the world, Afrobeat producers in the world, Mastercraft, right? And I literally lived with Mastercraft for like a year in America, in Kansas. We stay together. We live in the same house. We would wake up in the morning, we'll go on I would literally sit there next to this guy for like hours and watch how he make beats, the process of one beat.
Did you learn how to make beats?
I know how to do all these things, but I choose not to because at the end of the day, I want to focus on the business of music. So I literally watched the process, right? And how it's different steps. You got to make the beat. You have to engineer. You got to produce the beat, right? You got to master the beat. It's a lot of stuff. So I think when I listen to our sound, a lot of producers out of Liberia, I think they're skipping certain steps. You
feel like the beats aren't all the way there?
They're skipping the mastering step, right? Because if you listen to some of the sounds, some of the things that sound like some sounds when you producing beats, you got to bring some things down. You got to master that beat.
Yeah, but I mean, that doesn't necessarily have to be that producer's job. Like a producer can just make the beat and you can get it sent out to someone else for mastering.
Yeah, you could do that, but you got to take a look at a lot of artists when they send the record out, they're sending the record out for mastering, not the beat.
The beat is included in that.
No. When I say master the beat, you get when a individual's mastering the record, right? They focusing on the record. They're now focusing on how to put the hats down, the snare down. They're not.
Yes, they are.
They're not.
Absolutely. No, let me tell you, as an artist, as a vocalist, as a music enthusiast, when I send my records out, I'm sending the stems for my vocals. I'm sending my stems for the beat.
Are you telling me
everything needs to come together and fuse properly? So if the snare is loud and it's covering the vocals, you take it down.
Yeah,
so
but
the beat by itself should be perfect. The vocals by itself should be perfect, and they need to be perfect together.
So the person not mastering the record, right? I understand what you're saying. You're telling them to pull certain things down, right?
Whatever they think needs to be done.
That's not their. Not the person that the person that master your song. When you send them to them, right? Mm-hmm. The producer, right, that are making the beats, right? They need to spend more time on the beats, right? Not as a producer, because you hear a vibe from a beat, you just send it off, right? Because when these things are playing in the speakers, in the studio, anything sounds like a hit. When you record song in the studio, the way the speaker can be so loud and y'all can be vibing, y'all can be feeling the song. As a producer, you have to also, when everybody leave, you have to, because one thing that's happening in our industry, people are not taking time. Like, they're not really like looking at this.
So?
They're not really looking at this thing like, oh, this is like my craft, right? Or this is like my passion.
I would say.
No, let me tell you where I'm going with this. They're looking at it like, oh, this is good. Let me make money for it. There's
I
good.
disagree.
It's like
I
a trade-off.
disagree. I don't know who you've been dealing with in the music
Let me tell you why it's a
industry.
trade-off.
No.
Let me tell you why it's a trade-off. Let me tell you why it's a trade-off.
There are so many people in Liberia doing music for free because they love it.
They don't have choice.
No, they do have everybody has a choice.
They told you,
Everybody has a choice.
They don't have choice to do it for free because nobody have offered to pay for it yet.
That's not true.
You're talking.
That's not true. People,
if
if you give away something for free, that takes away an opportunity for somebody to buy it.
No,
it's a choice.
Entertainment don't work like that. Nobody in this world are looking to buy stuff that they haven't seen before. When it comes to entertainment, that's what marketing and promotion.
Yeah, so if if a producer makes a beat and somebody hears it and they like it, you buy it.
Yeah, somebody with money has to like and see it. The person that have money to afford it. People that got money to afford things.
So how do you think the artists are using the beats that you say are unfinished if the people not buying it?
Because they're friends with the people. If you're my homie,
okay,
if my homie
which means that they are giving it to their friends because they're passionate about the music.
No, because they don't give it to their friends. What they gonna do with it?
You keep it. To give it, you will sell it.
Okay, so marketing, right? That's one. You see. Okay.
No. So we're getting off track. Let's keep marketing one side. We're talking about the producer right now.
No. We're talking about entertainment in general.
No, but the topic right now is the production.
Producers are not taking their time. Okay. That's why you told me the person that produced your record was from Ghana.
No, that's not what I told you.
He lives in he's Liberian, but he lives in Ghana. Hear me. He lives in Ghana. So these cats in Liberia, they go to Ghana that do like production. I know a producer I was speaking to that produced for the Piggy called, I think Little More, that just got signed, whatever. Speaking to him, he said to me, bro, that's why I moved to Ghana so I can go to the music school, so I can learn this, I can learn that. Mm-hmm. So these things I'm talking about, I'm not just sitting out, I don't just get up and in my corner, I just start talking.
I never said that.
No, but hear me now. Hear me.
I never said that.
That's why that production that we heard from you just now, the person that produced that beat, that person they live in Ghana.
They lived.
So it's a standard in Ghana.
But do you know who mixed and mastered that beat?
No, we're not there yet.
No, we are.
No,
because ultimately, yes.
Okay.
Ultimately,
who mixed and mastered the beat?
Guy in Liberia did it for me.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And I would tell you, when Dr. Bass made the beat for me, it was cool. It was great. It was amazing. I loved it the first time I heard it. It was absolutely amazing. I reached out to Jbizz and I was like, Jbizz, I need you to help me with writing this song. And we wrote this song, Big Your Season, together. And it was like, so even before recording it, I just knew that this particular one we're going to knock.
So Jbizz, right, is one of the best songwriter.
He is one of the best
songwriter.
No. He is the best songwriter in Liberia.
Oh, yeah. You said that. I say that.
No, I do say that. No, I say that with my whole physical chest. My whole physical chest. Jbizz is the best songwriter in Liberia. Yeah.
That's my boy.
So whatever you may think about him as an artist, that's your personal prerogative. I don't really care. He is the best songwriter in Liberia. Okay? And I feel like I think CIC may agree, actually. Because if it's not Jbizz, it's definitely CIC. And the difference is, I think Jbizz has the ability to write for absolutely anyone and tap into their sound.
So the reason why I said one off, right, when I say one off,
I know I was saying it for me.
Because me and you don't know all the songwriters in that bureau. Because we talk about
no. We're not going to do that. That's semantic.
No, but we spoke about, like, we literally spoke about, maybe somebody right now is such a great songwriter, but nobody have ever heard their stuff before because.
So are they a part of the conversation? Are they a part of the conversation?
That's why I always say one off.
Yeah, no. He is the best songwriter.
Yeah, big up to Jbizz.
Keep your eyes on me.
The hand clapping for Jbizz right quick.
He is the best songwriter in Liberia. Not one off.
So you reach out to him.
I reached out to him. We wrote the song together, and then I recorded it in the States with Prince Eli. Shout out to him. He just dropped his album.
Prince Eli's an engineer too?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm
actually going to record with him today.
I know.
He is one of the most talented engineers, and he's one of those people that, like, I'm really comfortable with because, as a woman in the industry, it's really hard to find male producers or engineers that you're comfortable with.
Let's talk about that, right? That's a good thing. Why is it? Is it because?
Cause men nasty.
Is it because the men get that thing with their private part?
Yes.
Come out on that side of town.
On what side of town? Everywhere. Men all around the world nasty.
Just thinking about their private parts. Not every. Not begging you. That the men you have came across.
No, I'm not saying.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
I
did not say all men are nasty. I said men all around the world are nasty. It's not just Liberian men. It's not just Ghanaian men. It's not just American men. Men in all over the world in all of the different fashions. Not every single man is nasty.
No, but hold on. You see. Please say that. Say they got nasty people all over the world.
They get nasty people. They get nasty people all over the world. They get nasty men. They get nasty men. Nasty men.
Okay.
All over the world. I said it. Yes. So. And but this is why, okay? I haven't worked with 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 engineers. I've worked with a lot of engineers. And I'm an artist and I travel the world. I made music in a lot of different places.
So all the Americans want to eat at TV? They live to you?
Yeah, because it's like, first off, you'll start off talking about the music and it's all great. And then, or maybe it's human nature. You start to spend a lot of intimate time together. By intimate, I mean alone time at odd hours. Just the two of you guys in the studio. There's a comfort that gets built. And then somebody makes a move. And it's just like.
So, okay, are you kind of like taking a look at like, are you kind of like trying to figure, is this something that you are doing too? Because at the end of the day, right, you can't.
No. No. Jbizz, I'm not going to let you.
No, I'm
not going to allow you to do this to yourself.
I just want to ask you a question.
On this podcast.
I want to ask you a question, right?
No. I'm going to let you know now.
No,
at no point in time at no point in time am I ever asking for or deserving inappropriate gestures from men in any setting.
No, hear me out. I'm not saying that you are asking, you are
There's
like,
nothing I am doing to warrant any man wanting to sleep with me while we're working.
No, just hear me out, right?
I kind of don't want to, but go ahead.
One thing I always do for myself, right? When I see things are always happening a certain type of way, I always take a look at myself first and try to figure out what am I doing to contribute to like whatever that's taking place. Maybe it might be good or bad. Maybe I'm not the one that's contributing to it at that certain level. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? I always try to take a look at myself and do that. That's why I'm asking you. Like, I'm not saying you go in there, bringing flirtations or this and that with them. I'm not saying none of that. But I'm saying, like, sometimes we have to, as human beings, if the same result continue to happen with different people, we always have to take a look at ourselves and see what causing that.
Yeah, but also, there are a lot of rapists in the world. It's not that all of the women just happen to be needing to be ripped. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I didn't say that
there are men.
I didn't say that.
But I'm just drawing an analogy. The reality is, and I'm not the only female artist. I'm not the first, and I definitely am not the last. This is something that has been happening culturally. When I say culturally, I don't mean just Liberia. I mean in the culture of music. From the dawn of time, men have preyed on women in the industry, which was why I was so comfortable working with CIC. When CIC said, I got you, come, he protected me. For a long time, when I was with CIC, nobody brought that type of energy to me. He kind of was like my guardian. It was like, if you're going to studio to work with CK, it's all business. And if it's not, and I find out anything, you got me to contend with. And that was appreciative. But then once I started like having to make connections for myself and networking for myself. Why?
Like, why did you move from under that umbrella to go start to like?
Because ultimately there comes a time when he wanted to then focus on his own career. And it was like pushing baby bird out of the nest. And I didn't want to go. I still don't want to go.
So let's talk about, since we're talking about this, right? Let's talk about like the female artists in Liberia, right? And one thing I realized about that, right? I've been going back and forth in Liberia, and it's a lot of girls that was able to make hit songs in Liberia. They got a good fan base in Liberia. Shout
out to Ani Tram. Shout out to Fluxy. Shout out to Favonic. Shout out to MC Cairo.
Let's go.
Yep.
There's more of them. Let's go.
From where?
You know the other one, eh?
From back in the day?
No, what you mean back in the day? When they put a phone, they want to still be jumping for there. So,
but we're talking about hit songs.
Yeah, I realized.
Hit songs right now. I gave you the list of the hit songs right now.
In Liberia, right?
In Liberia.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know. I always try to figure this out, right? It's like, what's really happening? Why we haven't had like a female artist that has been able to come on tour in America? Like, you know,
we had MC Caro.
Okay, MC Caro.
Yeah, he takes that back. He didn't mean it.
Okay, I didn't mean it. Well, MC Caro a different kind of Jew you get. I'm talking about, yeah, a different Jew. I talk about it.
Digging a hole for yourself with the women. Jbizz, we'll cover you. We'll bury you.
No, please, I'm begging you, because this weekend I literally met like some people I knew back in the day, and oh, Joel, how you on the podcast? You giving like this idea to people that you hate women, or you want to put men against women.
So stop.
No, that's not the case. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what I'm doing, right? Let me tell you my stand, right? I'm advocating for men, right? Because I'm a man. A lot of things I talk about on this podcast, women would never ever play with me like that. Because I don't mean I'm not that kind of play talk.
I don't know what you mean.
No. So I'm advocating for men because I know a lot of my friends, a lot of men that go through this struggle, because life is already hard for men in general. And I see the struggle they go through. And if you do this research,
in relation to what exactly?
If you do this research.
In relation to what exactly?
Just life in general.
In general, okay.
If you do this research, hold on, producer. Let me get a name record on more. If you do this research, suicide rate in this world, men are number one. Because you know why? They don't have a voice. They the biggest, strongest, but no voice, because they're not supposed to talk. We're not supposed to say certain things. So I'm the voice. I'm a sacrifice myself for my brothers to live another day.
I disagree. See, here's the thing. When men start to have issues, from my perspective...
You can't tell me about men. You're not a man, so leave it. Let's talk entertainment.
I literally just said from my perspective.
No,
I'm always allowed to tell you. I'm always allowed to talk about my perspective. That's why it is my perspective.
You see why men don't have voice?
You can have a voice. You just had the floor. You just spoke. So now it's my turn to say what I want to say from my perspective. Mm-hmm. And I even everything I say is from my perspective, but I even did the due diligence of mentioning that I'm only speaking from my perspective when it comes to men.
I'm listening.
All right? When men are talking about women and women's interactions with men, or women's interaction or men's interaction with women, there's always going to be some sort of standard of what you should be able to say and what you shouldn't be able to say, because there are some things that are just wrong. We have right, we have wrong. I know we have perception of what is right and what is wrong, but ultimately insinuating that if I say I've had a lot of interactions with producers or engineers in the studio who try to push up on me or try to make a move on me, for your first reaction to be, is there something that you're doing that's making them do that? That is a character flaw on your behalf.
That is not, because the reason why I also said to you myself, I always do that for myself. If I continue to get the same results, right? If I'm operating in the same field and I continue to get the same results, I take a look at myself and be like, yo, what are you doing towards that? But when I say men don't have voice, right? I'm also, take a look at this, right? As a man, a girl can. We're not going to make this about. Let's get back to entertainment, because we are talking about
entertainment.
We'll save this for another day.
And even in relation to female artists in Liberia, I don't know Fluxy. I don't know a lot of them extremely personally. Mm-hmm. You know, Annie Tram, I'm a huge fan, and we speak.
She's really good at performing.
MC Caro, yeah, she is. She is awesome, and she can sing the house down.
I think what's going on with her right now is like she's tapping into like being an artist and an entertainer. Like she understanding like music business.
Yeah. She's a team of one.
No, you might.
She's a team of one.
That's what you think.
She's spearheading her things.
You think so?
Okay.
I know some people that are back in that place.
I know her.
No, but I'm saying certain things. You see, people don't tell people like certain business, right? You might have a conversation with her.
You can have promotion. You're always going to need a team for promotion, but she is the person who is deciding what she's going to do. She is her creative director.
Of course,
she is the one. So she is a team of one. You can have a promotion team. Everybody has a promotion team.
We got to agree to disagree about that, because I'll tell you for a fact, or the way she operating, the way she's moving, she's not a team of one.
Okay.
It's her coming from Liberia and living in Liberia, she's not.
I don't understand why you have this perception that because they're from Liberia, they're ultimately going to have some sort of disadvantage. Like, even this, just the way you said it, like, for what she's doing coming from Liberia, like, why can't she be doing what she's doing coming from Liberia?
No. I said her doing what she's doing coming from Liberia, she has people that's behind her.
But that's what I don't understand.
You know why I said that?
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem about us. We are facing with being Liberian, our industry, and our moving forward, right? For betterness, right? We're not saying we need help. We're not saying, oh, we're struggling. We're putting up this face of, oh, we're okay. We got this. We're good. We're not. So I never knew that until I actually started to go to Liberia. And when I go to Liberia,
when was the first time you went to Liberia?
The first time I went to Liberia was the first time you seen me in Liberia.
The first time you went to Liberia was 2021.
Yes.
And you have so much to say.
Yes, because when I go to Liberia, I can spend 1 day,
it doesn't
2
matter.
days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I go 2 months. I go there, and when I go, Liberia is very small. You run around Liberia 1 week, you finish doing everything you got to do over there. Let's be realistic, right? So I go Liberia. When I go Liberia, one thing I do, I be at all levels, right? I be at the 1%, I be with the 2%, I be with 100%. I literally find myself in different spaces, right? So I can understand what's actually happening over there. That's how you can be able to come back and assess and help.
But as we're talking about female artists in Liberia, what is your perception of what you identify as the problem?
So the whole entire problem in Liberia, females or males or, there's no music business being done in Liberia. There's no business of music. And let's go back to you, when you said, oh, you CIC was your protector, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he was serving as a manager.
Mm-hmm.
And then you went away from that. Mm-hmm. Then you started to have these issues again where you was coming across people where was doing like stuff that now, number one, you as an artist, why don't you have a manager? Why don't you have like somebody who's helping you? You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, because the thing is, you can't go out looking for a manager. I've done it. Mm-hmm. I've tried. Mm-hmm. And you find yourself in a very vulnerable position where you end up used. I have management, but they're for a very specific group of things. But all of my individual things, I am a team of one. I don't know what that means to you or not, but I am a team of one. Everything that you see me doing, it comes from my pocket. It comes from my brain. It comes from my efforts, my networking. That's all me. And it would be nice to have management who could hit the pavement hard for me and go super hard for me. But the reality is that God hasn't sent that person to my life yet. So should I just sit down and wait and not make the music that I feel that I'm destined to make, hoping that somebody's going to come from the heavens and bless me with support?
No, you still need to keep doing what you're doing, right? Because your friends around you too supposed to, because I know like somebody around you, your inner circle is supposed to kind of slide in.
To do what?
And like assist you, right? Because when I say assist you, right?
Wait.
No, but hear me out right quick.
As my manager? As my pseudo manager?
No, hear me right quick. Just assist you through navigating through whatever you got going on, right? Because a lot of artists don't have manager because a lot of artists have nothing to manage. Mm-hmm. That's what a lot of people haven't understood. That's what I'm saying. No music business being done in Liberia. You get an artist who has just dropped a song a day, right? Mm-hmm. And people in the community fooling with that song, liking that song, boom. An individual reach out to them that want to help them. They sending you to go talk to their manager. Mm-hmm. And the artists don't have nothing to do right now. Could literally take care of that whole part of them just answering the phone, going to that show, going to perform because that show is going to help their career down the end. Going to give them something one day.
Are you saying that the artists shouldn't direct people to their management?
No. Certain artists don't deserve a manager at the time if you don't have nothing to manage. A manager has to have things to manage. Like people got to be calling you for booking. People when somebody call you for booking, that manager get 10% of that booking fee. because he's working. A manager not supposed to put $1 behind you.
So what is the role of the person that is supposed to help propel you in the underground stage? So, are you saying every artist has to just do it on their own?
So most likely artists that come from underground is there people around them that support them, like their family, friends, homies, somebody steps in.
Support them how?
Somebody, you don't know how people be supportive of people?
No, I don't know. I need you.
Like if you're my friend, right? Like you remember, you asked me earlier about D, right? D's my friend. Mm-hmm. That's why whatever role you saw me playing with him, I was helping him as if I was his manager. Because for me to be his manager, we gotta go into business. Everything I was done for him was his friend. So that's one thing about our culture. We have lost the sense of friendship. We think we don't understand what friendship. We think friendship just somebody to just sit our way, we drink liquor.
But that's really funny that you say that. I'm finna put you on the spot real quick because if you're saying in my inner circle, I don't know who you identify in my inner circle as the person that should play that role, but you were able to do that for D, and I think we're friends.
No, no. We have a
don't change your name.
No, but we have you my homie. But the thing about me and you the thing about me and you, right? We have to get to a space. We have to get to a space where.
Do you have my song downloaded on your phone?
I think
don't
I do.
lie.
I think
you
I do.
think you do.
But
when was the last time you listened to it?
Came across me listening to it.
What is the name of the last song I released?
Madam, me now. Me. Oh, you can't give me a hard time for the podcast today.
Because when you talk about it, live it.
No, I do.
Okay, so or are you saying that I just
give you an example.
The extent of your support is to D.
No, what I'm trying to say to you basically, right? Me and you my homie. You understand? But
I don't understand.
No, but like when it comes to your music stuff, I don't really know too much about like what you have going on. But for D, I was there from the beginning stage, right? I was one of the individuals like, yo, bro, do this way. Do this way. So I was always giving my input on his situation, and some say listen, some say don't listen, I've been there. But yeah, so
do you feel like you've played a pivotal role in D's career taking off?
Me, I mean,
if you had to grade yourself,
I was supported as a friend. I did everything I could do as a friend.
Yeah.
You understand? Towards his career. So it's up to, for me when
that included what? So you gave him your advice unsolicited. What else did you do to support D's career?
Creative stuff, tour, came up
what
with
did you do with the tour
idea. I'm one of the biggest Liberian promoter in the world. So what kind of question you asking me? What I deal with the tour you get? I made phone calls. We create stuff. You understand what I'm saying to you? People that
But that is my point. You are making my point for me.
No.
So you are saying, because what we're talking about is me.
Yeah, we talking about you.
And we're just, unfortunately, hi D, shout out to King D. We're just using that as the platform, as an example, right? So my thing is, we're all in the same circle. Maybe we're not besties, right? But we've known each other since 2021. You were at a performance of mine. And you came to Big Drew season, the first Big Drew season. Shout out to Big Drew season. Shout out Ricksling.
Yeah.
You came to the first Big Drew season. You came to all of the Big Drew season.
But I feel like Ricksling has played that role for you though, right?
No. We're talking about you.
No, I'm saying.
No, we're talking about me and we're talking about you.
I think Ricksling has played that role for you.
So when is Ricksling going to leave Liberia and come to America where I spend 80% of the year to be that role for me. But you created a whole tour for our friend King D. Yeah. And at one single point, did you ever think to pick up a phone and be like, I got a friend CK and I want to put her on this tour. Let her come open up for King D on this tour. Did you do it?
No, because CK.
Did you do it?
No, but CK, right? CK.
He didn't do it, y'all.
No, CK, the thing about the thing about that right there, right, is that around that time, these things was doing with D. Because D had like records in the market, right? He had like big records in the market. So in order to go on a tour and all these things and move around. So
how did he have the big records on the market? How did you play a part in those songs being big records on the market?
Because of, like I said, me and D, we hanged out together almost like when I go to Liberia, we together every day. Like when he in America, we probably spent like 50, 60% time together in America. We would go to
And
events
so
and
how did that end up translating to where you couldn't have
now
included me in any of those
we
things?
got to figure out how we can establish that way of
But
moving
that's
around.
funny because we've had these conversations before. I remember after the CIC show, I called you and I was very upfront with you about what was going on in my career. And it was like, you know, I even told you I had an idea to do this event. I want to really hone in on the art of music.
But you never fought through with it.
Yes, I did.
We never, you see?
Let me finish my sentence before you dig another hole for it saying I got to get inside you. Yeah. So I had a whole idea. I wanted to really focus on the music. You know, I had even said, you know, coming off of the tour with CIC, I love live music and I want to be a real performer. I don't want to do karaoke performances, you know, where like the song is just playing in the background. You sing on the microphone, you pass the microphone to the audience, then you shout on top of the music again, and you pass it back. Like,
you talking about what CIC did on his tour?
No, but that's just what Afrobeats artists in most cases who don't have the budget.
I know Afro.
I said in most cases, that's what they do. It's a budget thing as well because most venues can't accommodate, the venues that we play can't accommodate a live band. And if they can, it costs so much extra. So I wanted to do something that was more live music renditions of my songs. And you were like, that sounds like a lot, but good luck.
No, I didn't.
And
I said we could do it. And you never felt through with it.
Yeah,
you just
but
had
that was a conversation that we had like a couple months ago.
And then that's what you do.
And then
you have the idea, right? You're the idea, right? You thought about the idea.
Well, I'll tell you what I did. I'll tell you what I did. I went forward and I met a band. I now have a band that I will be performing with tonight, actually.
Where?
At Sky Lounge in Laurel, Maryland. But at the time that I met them, they had a residency at the Continent in D.C. And I was singing and performing with them at the Continent in D.C. And then I was, you know, you create the relationship and I had told them about my idea and we are going to do the work together. I have a lot of things coming coming up because in the works, because I'm going to be dropping a project later on in the year, which I had mentioned to you. So while you're busy being a loyal friend, supporting King D, I've been my loyal friend, supporting myself.
You have Rixley, you got Rixley, you got MC Cairo.
Rixley is not here.
MC Cairo also
and like you said, MC Cairo is an artist.
Right? It's a friend.
But she's also an artist.
Yeah, so
I can't let's be honest about the whole friendship part of it, which was really my point. It's nobody's responsibility to make your dreams happen for you. It's your responsibility to make your dreams happen for you, which is why I take it and I'll put it on top of my head.
Your friends will also help you, though.
Yeah, but they are only, first off, every person has their own, they have their own work ethic. You can't have somebody change their work ethic because it's convenient for you. You can't have somebody change their obligations and priorities because you need them to, especially my friends that are in Liberia. We all know life in Liberia is really, really hard.
Okay,
life in America is really hard too.
Life everywhere in the world is hard.
Yes, but let's be honest. The things that people are facing in Liberia, we're not facing them here. And for me to ask them to neglect, because that ultimately we only have an infinite amount of time, right? So if I'm asking you to prioritize me, that means you're going to be neglecting some part of your personal plan for my benefit. And I guess everybody in the back of your mind.
So you know what happened with that, right? You have the wrong friends, right? Because
that's actually very.
Hear me. Let me tell you why I said that, right? Because your friends have to align with what your destination in life, right? Because one thing I've always been doing for myself lately, I've been making sure me and my friends, we all have some type of something we want to do together. Somebody want to go together. Something that brings us together. Something we could talk about. Something we can move forward with life. I have people I knew back in the day. They're still my homie, but I wouldn't say, oh, that's like my buddy, that's my friend. Somebody I know. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying to you? That doesn't mean because you knew somebody, y'all grew up together, doesn't mean y'all stuck together forever. You're not.
I don't have friends like that. The friends I have are actual friends to me. And maybe what I prioritize in relationships might be different from you.
What's that?
But I mean, the type of things that I've experienced in life, the friends I've had have seen me through a lot of really traumatizing shit, you know? And I emotionally rely on my friends.
But you get married, I got therapy. You can substitute them for therapy.
No, I go to therapy.
Yeah.
But you can't substitute friends for therapy or vice versa. They're two separate things, but you need both. I don't have a lot of friends.
I think I had a white man created therapy for because because you maybe you have been lucky enough for your friend not to carry your personal business outside to the public.
But who's saying I'm going?
But I'm
not lucky. No, I'm not lucky because the difference is I don't make friends because they are useful to me. I make friends because they love me and I love them. That is friendship.
Yeah.
That is friendship. I'm not friends with people just because they're useful, just because they can get, me from point A to point B. Yes, beautifully because my friends love me, they can assist.
That's what it has to be.
Friends are lawyers. My friends are doctors.
If I love you, I actually want to make sure everything with you is good. So it's not called using, it's called you having somebody that love you, that's seeking your interest, that making sure if you do something, if they can help. I'm not saying that they have to help with everything. If they can help, that's what I do as a friend. Me, is if I tell you this is my homie, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
And he doing something, I'm helping him. I'm not coming in a space where I'm saying, okay, I'm helping him because I want him to give me this, I want him to give me that, or something like that.
Yeah, but my thing is, I have friendships, right? And they do what they can.
Uh-huh.
But what I'm not going to do is obligate them.
There's an obligation.
It's not.
As a friend.
Because the type of support that you gave to King D by doing all his promotion and stuff, first off, my friends aren't promoters. They're not. They're doctors. They're lawyers.
I'm a businessman.
Are you a doctor?
But I just use.
Are you a lawyer?
No, but listen, mother.
But you said that you are I'm one of the biggest promoters in Liberia.
No, Liberia.
I'm one of the biggest Liberian promoters in the world. In the world. That's what you said.
So that's what I said. That's what it is. But listen to me 5 seconds, right? Your friends, a lawyer could do so much for you in entertainment space.
And she does. All of my contracts, she does
so much. You see, yeah. So we
yeah, but that doesn't help me.
The lawyer in Liberia, your lawyer, that's your cousin or your friend?
Lucy Sherman, she's my friend.
Yeah,
we've been best friends since 10th grade.
Man, she cool.
Yeah, you met us all the same night.
Yeah, I did. See?
Yeah.
I remember.
He tried to come for y'all low key, but I got you. Don't worry.
No, but I feel like Rick Sling has really like.
Rick Sling has put me on to a lot of different things, yes.
Definitely.
And
speaking about Rick Sling, right? She had put a lot of these cats, a lot of these artists.
Absolutely.
She had put a lot of them on.
Absolutely.
Because, and like I felt like they don't respect that of an individual putting them on.
I don't know. And I think people, when they have done something for you, I think it's easy to just assume that this person owes you something. But I think that the people that Rick Sling has come through for, they really go hard for her. Like, Big Juice season is packed out the way it is every year, and it's getting bigger and bigger every year because of the connections we make with people. And a lot of the artists that we have, we don't have to pay them. We do pay them. But we don't pay their booking fees, number one, because we can't afford it, Big Juice season is funded by 2 young Liberian women, all right?
You and
yeah, absolutely.
Both of you guys, that's good. That's dope.
And these pockets can only do so much. Shout out to Bucky Robert. We don't have $10,000 to pay you, friend. But shout out to you for coming through for us.
Well, you're not smart people. 10 what?
So we don't have $10,000 to pay your booking fees.
Who booking fee at $10,000?
I mean, I don't know what Bucky Raw's booking fees are, but I'm saying I think he deserves it, but we don't have it to pay them.
Oh.
So, a lot of it is grace. Like, people come through for Rick Sling because Rick Sling has been so pivotal in the industry.
She definitely has. She definitely.
Like when she was on the radio, she was very, very diligent with making sure Liberian music was played very regularly. And even now that she's not on the radio, anytime she hears something that she likes, she promotes it. Rick Sling is getting thousands and thousands and thousands of views on her story on a daily basis. I can't tell you how many times she's posting me. She's posting me a lot. She's done what she can. But ultimately, what I need is somebody who's going to hit the streets and be like, from entertainment center to entertainment center, from club to club, from DJ to DJ, and be ready to go to bat for me. Like, hey, have you listened to this new song by CK? I bet you, and the song you played today, this song is better. And it's annoying and somehow embarrassing because I feel that way as well, advocating for myself sometimes like you're being a nuisance. But you got to do what you got to do.
So I feel like for Rickson, I think Rickson should get like a podcast deal. I think Enterprise would be interested in setting Liberia her own podcast. And I feel like we go crazy. But yeah.
No comment.
Yeah. First LIB podcast. Then a properly produced podcast. Cause but like I said, big up, hand clap Rick Slim.
Hand clap for Rick Slim.
And before Rick Slim, it was Master Queen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Master Queen. And let's talk about, so let's go back to remember when I said to you, you asked me a question about what a problem with a female artist in Liberia. And I said to you, the number one problem in Liberia with the entertainment industry is nobody is doing proper music business. It's just, oh, you my friend, this and that. It's like friendship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy. It doesn't make sense, right? Because at the end of the day, not because me and you we're not sitting, not drinking liquor, or not going to your house, or not calling your phone every day. That doesn't mean that you can't give me the same rights that I deserve as an artist that you giving your friend or your homie, right? That's what really killing the industry over there. And when I go over there, people don't respect people over there. They don't respect people. It's another problem, respect. That doesn't mean because...
Do you feel like you don't get the respect you deserve in Liberia?
No. Me, when I go to Liberia, I don't ask for respect. I demand my respect. You know what I mean? Tell me in a minute I can go, I'm mid-flower to events, to doors. You know what I mean, Tom? Plenty of time.
So
because one thing about me, right?
What does respect look like to you?
So respect is you understanding who an individual is and the role that person play in whatever field you want to operate in. Because
so in the event that they don't understand that, you feel like that's disrespect?
That's disrespect.
I don't think so.
Because you know one thing I realized about my people is like it's something that they do all the time. And we all operate off our reality, right? If I grew up seeing people do things a certain type of way, that's how I might start doing it. So I don't really fault them for a lot of stuff that they do over there because they don't know better, right?
And I think that's where some of the divide comes from.
In order for me, no, I don't think it's a divide. I just think
there's definitely a divide.
What, between over there and over here?
Liberians in the diaspora and Liberians in Liberia?
Okay, the division in the entertainment industry, right?
Yeah.
That's something where I would disagree with it a little bit. Not because you live in America and you go to the studio and you go record music, that you're supposed to be a superstar in Liberia.
I 100% agree with that. Check.
Yeah. So it's not a disconnect.
But I think what the issue is...
Because I think, speaking about D was one of the people that proved that isn't right. D can come jump on stage here. D can go jump on stage in Liberia. It'd be the same impact.
Yeah,
you know
but
why?
No, I want to press pause on that. D has spent a substantial amount of time in Liberia.
No. D have done what you do in entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
But you do in music business.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember when T.Y. Savage had to go back to Nigeria?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Davido had to go back to Nigeria?
Mm-hmm.
You have to be on ground.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, I think that there is a divide because I think the divide really comes from the diaspora.
Why you say that?
I think a lot of what you've said today, a lot of your, like the pronouns you choose to use when you're referring to Liberians in Liberia, it's like they, them, over there. But really, just because we live in America for some time,
mm-hmm.
we're still all just Liberians.
No, but I never said that. That doesn't change the dynamic
but then when you're talking about
living over there.
But then when you're talking about being in Liberia and like demanding your respect, and it's like they over there, they don't, and it's just like, but regardless of what kind of Liberian you are, when you're in Liberia, nobody cares. It's just about what you bring to the table, what they can see, what we can see.
So in Liberia, that's not true, right? It's not about what they can see, what they can see. They can see it in front of them. So long you're not taking this from your pocket, money, you handing it to somebody here like they don't respect you.
I disagree.
You talking? You gotta be. You see the problem about us. That's why I said to you. In order for us to get, it's like an alcoholic, right? Somebody that's an alcohol or drug abuser. They always high, messed up.
Mm-hmm.
They never say, "Oh, I need help." They'll never get help. They'll never get better. That's the problem we are facing. We're still going away from real conversations. If you're not handing somebody money in Liberia,
I feel like this is a very real conversation that we're having.
No, I'm saying we're having it because we're having real conversations. I have real conversations. I'm talking about other people. Other people don't want to say it because they don't want to dig the hole. So somebody can put it inside the hole.
So the reason why I disagree is because I've spent an extreme amount of time in Liberia.
Tell me about respect.
And
let's talk about let's talk about what inquire respect in Liberia.
Well, I'm going based off of like what you mentioned as an example when I asked you about what you would consider to be respect.
Mm-hmm.
And you said like, at the door, you not understanding who I am, right? And the reality is you're only as big as the impact you make.
No, if somebody look at you and tell you, say, "Oh, I know you, Jbizz, I know."
No, but you said if somebody doesn't understand who you are.
No, he know who I was. That's what he said to me.
Well, I don't know what information, what moment you're talking about.
I will tell you. He said to me, he said, "I know who you are, but the event, everybody, the how will support the artist by you paying $5. Why the artist manager already told him he was the promoter of the show. So he don't understand music business, entertainment business. Me being in that space, right? I don't have no reason being with it. I don't there because I'm a fan of the artist. I want to see the artist perform. I'm just out of support. I just literally took my time and go over there. Hold on now, hear me. No, but hear me, love, hear me. But in Liberia, the way you can support an individual, but everything is a transaction of cash. That's how they don't know entertainment business.
So what support were you going to give that artist by going there and not buying a ticket?
So me basically being there, me posting on my social media, currency of that, way more than $5. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, the people that follow me on my media, I'm talking about record executive in America. I'm talking about a big time concert promoters in the
put our phone on silent phone
in the world. You know what I'm saying to you?
Mm-hmm.
They see that. They don't know what's going. They don't know how much people paying to watch that show. It can be 300 Liberty, which is equivalent to really little bit nothing. They don't know. They just see a lot of people somewhere. And somebody goes, hold on, hear me.
Hear me to pay for a ticket.
No, hear what I'm saying to you. Very disrespectful. Because even from here to Miami, I don't pay to get in clubs. You know what I'm saying to you? Because you kind of get where I'm going with this. So basically, because people have to understand, right? Respect people that are in the spaces that not because I'm not because you don't know my net worth. Not because you don't know, not because when I go places, I usually, one thing about me, right? One strategy I always use with my people, is when I go places, I put myself all the way down to the ground. I will sleep on the floor with people in there. I will observe your behavior. Only way I can see your behavior if I lay on the floor with you. But if I up that day, you'll be bunny down to me that day.
So then why are you so flabbergasted by somebody asking you to pay for a ticket?
No, I'm not flabbergasted.
So then that's definitely not being on the ground with somebody.
Not understand what I'm saying to you again.
I must not be.
Is that the people that operate in the entertainment industry needs to understand rules and regulations.
But it sounds to me like you are going to Liberia and trying to bring in this foreign idea of business to Liberia, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I think that is a problem because in Rome, you do what the Romans do. If you want to wait, because I know you're itching.
No, it's not.
Itching. Wait, no, wait. You just wait.
Uh-huh.
When you want to cause change, it's not radically. It's not, you don't just come in and demand that we do things the way you have been doing things, or the way you've seen.
I've learned that
or the way you've learned.
That it works.
Yes.
Things
so
that
you
work.
you can't force that. You can't. And that's why it hasn't been working. At the end of the day, it hasn't. Because if it was working, you would have achieved all of the things that you wish to achieve already.
But that hasn't happened. You're not understanding that, though. What I'm trying to say to you is that you said when you go to Rome, that's why I said to you in Liberia, there's no business being done for music.
So you're going to go to Liberia.
I give you something from I give you a quick example, right?
Yeah.
In Liberia, there's no business music business being done. So that's why the people don't understand the value. Do you know how valuable music is, entertainment in the world? Do you know?
If you're in a place
music
that
is
does not move that way, you can't just demand that it's going to move that way because you know it's supposed to and that it does.
No, but that's what change. That's what change is.
No, actually, it's not. What you would know in society, that change is actually very gradual. And when change is supposed to be abrupt is when you have dictatorship.
Yeah, that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, no, but you know what also was a dictatorship? World War II. And look at what happened to Adolf Hitler. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Listen, sweetheart, right now.
It worked?
Listen, right
because
now,
look at what happened.
No, let me tell you one thing right now with Liberian music industry, right?
I think
culture.
For you, when you go to Liberia and you want to support the industry and you want to cause change, you first infiltrate. You first become a part of it. And you're saying that you can come down from wherever level you're on and lay on the floor with people. So then if somebody is having an event and the person to the door says, hey, can you buy a ticket to support the artist? I don't think you should view that as disrespect. Because if you were having an event, every single person, and you say that you know everybody, Liberia is small, you're friends with everyone. If every person that you knew got into your event for free, would you have a successful event?
I said Liberia is very small. No, I don't know. It's not. So you see, you're turning this around. I'm not saying anybody. I'm saying important people.
Yeah. Okay. So what you're saying is that you
because
are
number
important.
One, that individual, right? That individual has no reason being over there.
At the door collecting the money?
No. I mean, like the important person have no. You know how important people go places? They accommodate them because they have no reason being over there. They could be doing 100 million things.
Yeah,
right?
but those things speak for themselves. You don't have to demand it because it's given.
No.
Beyonce is not going to walk
Liberia,
in and
you guys only
questions.
respect people that are there, that are friends with y'all. So when outsiders come over there and come, y'all want to disrespect them to make them feel less than who they are. But some of us, hear me out, you guys. Some of us, we do not. We have our own hustle there.
But respectfully, outside.
So
I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to come for you because I'm definitely not.
You can't come for me. It's impossible.
Okay.
For that person, yeah.
Okay, but who are you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
So okay. Let me tell you who I am, right? So my name is Jbizz, right? And this name one of my friends gave me this name because I'm very business oriented, right? I've been in the entertainment space for like going on 15 years, right? I've done some big stuff, concerts, tours with some of the major Nigerian artists. Those are the biggest Afrobeat people in the world right now. I've done shows for Burner, David, Flavor, Malik. Did Malik Berry's first tour in America. I've took small things and created excitement around it, right? Techno, when he first came to America for his tour, I did his tour. Malik Berry did his tour. Wande Cole. These people up to now, they respect me. I show you my phone, DM, they follow me on Instagram, respect me. I've worked with Mastercraft. I've worked with one American artist in America. My first couple of months working with him, he got offered a deal from a Dream Chaser. So I understand how to really like do this stuff.
Yeah.
No,
so
hear me.
If
Hear
you've
me.
had
No,
all of
no,
that,
but hear me.
then why does it bother you if one person?
No, but hear me out. Let me just tell you who I am. Since you maybe because like I said, the problem with us because we don't have the blogs and things. They don't highlight people like us.
Yeah, but it shouldn't matter to you.
No, but hear me. That's why you don't know. That what the masses may not know because they feel intimidated by people like us.
But that doesn't matter. Like that's my point. If you're doing all of this work outside of Liberia in the international field of music, right? So what if this person doesn't know you? So what if this blog doesn't post to you? If you are doing the work, why does it matter whether you're recognized for it or not?
Because no, we're not.
Especially if you saying that you not want to be artist.
But we're not.
If you not want to be artist, why does it matter whether you get the recognition or not? It doesn't matter. But we're not, it shouldn't matter.
No, but we're not speaking about that. You have to understand what I'm saying to you, right?
I understand what you're saying. I think I just don't agree.
The problem we're facing in Liberia is that there's no music business.
You keep saying that, but
done.
you are getting
That's why
hung
no
up
money
on,
is being made.
you are being hung up, especially if the first time I ask you for what respect is, you use this one example. And we know it's not like your full definition of respect, but you're using this example, which means that it definitely, you really felt disrespected by this, if that was like the first thing that came to mind, right? And I'm thinking, for all of the business that you've done,
and I
for all of the spaces.
I tell you why the man said what reason why he said that for is because he said that he thinks support is just transaction with money. I told you the only problem that place is facing.
And you said that you felt like that was disrespectful.
You're not hearing me.
I heard you.
Yes,
I did hear you.
The only problem Liberia is facing right now is that only thing out there that people value is money. There's more to this word than money.
My question to you is, or was, do you deem somebody asking you to pay to enter an event that you feel like you're above disrespectful? You said yes.
That's very disrespectful.
Okay. I am saying that as a man who is saying that you want to bring the business part to the world, paying for a ticket is pretty random, is pretty standard business. So I don't understand why you deem that as disrespect. I get that you've had all of these successful events. You have this great resume, right? And you feel like that should be respected. But paying for a $5 ticket to go to a show doesn't remove that from your resume.
You just about to sit here and say, well, Beyonce go somewhere to make her pay to go somewhere to get in there?
No, Beyonce, her face is her admission card everywhere. You do not have that because you are not the artist.
I just said and told you that the individual knew who I was.
Yeah, and clearly
and how
it
he
wasn't
know me.
enough.
He didn't know me because
But do you think they would have asked Beyonce to enter the event?
I just said to you.
Do you think they would have asked Beyonce to pay?
See, the problem. You asked me what the problem is, and I just literally told you the problem.
But I'm telling you that I disagree.
Is the only
this is a conversation.
Only thing they respect is money.
I personally feel
so if I was to go in that market, right? If I was to go into that market in Liberia, right, and use cash violence over there, right? Which I could definitely do.
Okay.
Use cash violence in that market, right? Do you know what happened in that market?
You would get what you want for the time that you're there. When the money stops flowing, people are not going to do what you ask them to do anymore.
So that's the reason why business doesn't work like that, though.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that it should.
Business work like this, right?
So when the man said that you should pay for the ticket and you didn't, what happened?
I didn't pay for the ticket.
Okay, and what happened?
Because you know what happened? I was already inside. The manager walked me inside earlier because I came outside to answer my phone. That's when you're like, oh, my man, where your band, this and that. That's my man. Hear me now. Hear me. That's when the managers came, the artist manager came, and one of the guys I was helping with, even like, bro, why are you being disrespectful? You know who the guy is? So what I'm saying to you is the problem we're facing in Liberia is the only thing people are valuing in Liberia is small money. Entertainment is building, hear me, entertainment is building countries. Entertainment is creating tourism.
Okay,
music
I will
is
say this.
Changing a lot. Hear me.
No,
in order for things to change in that country, we have to. The reason why these other industries are thriving, right? Because people in them other countries, they come to America, they work in these different labels and things like that. They get information and they give it to the people. They put listening. But on the people, they will push back on it.
Yeah, so then you can go to Liberia and try to force feed your way of doing things on them and see if it works. And I genuinely don't think that it will. I think for real change to happen, real leaders who make people do the things that they want them to do, it's a give and take.
CK.
And I feel like you're definitely, like me personally, I'm not a celebrity. As much as I would want to be. As much as I haven't reached that level of success yet.
Okay.
There is a time and a level to everything. What I am as an artist, I'm somebody who loves music. I'm somebody who loves creating, and I give it every single thing I have to do. Everything I have to do and anything I have to do to make it happen is what I do. I unfortunately haven't been lucky enough to be partnered with the right business people, even though you've been right here all this time.
That's good.
And no, because it's real. No, because it's real. No, because it's real. Because I mean, amongst all my mother children, I like my said it best. You think I'm here to be talking about your friends and your artists and stuff? No, I'm here to talk about Ceekaynayway. the one and the only.
Ceekaynayway, when I sing my
I know
contract.
for a fact that the music I make can't be replicated by any Liberian artist, female or male alike. What I have is a diamond. It just hasn't been packaged in the right places yet. The diamond to Jared and the diamond in Cape Mount, that's the same diamond. But the diamond to Jared costs a whole lot more.
It's cut
right?
and it's clean.
And it's packaged properly. I haven't gotten that yet. And I pray to God every day on my hands and knees that he sends me that person. And now for you to be saying that you have such a passion for Liberia, that it's so personal to you that you want Liberia to go forward.
The culture
Of Liberia to go forward and be on this wide platform. And you have access to me. You have access to people. And even you, who's supposed to be a friend to me, you know, people are going to watch this podcast and be like, but then,
what?
you know,
How? There's people that are going to ask you, when you not saying Jbizz your music? When you not telling Jbizz what you doing?
When have I not? There has never been a time I have released music and I didn't send it to you. Embarrass yourself and pull it up.
When
and the thing is,
when last time you dropped music?
I dropped a single in October. And then I went on the show with CIC. I went to Liberia. I had Big Drew season. You came to Big Drew season to promote your artist, but you didn't seem to care much about.
I just came to support my friend.
No, you came to support your artist.
No, my friend.
Because your number one course of business was to make sure your friend or your artist D got on that stage.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you seem to happen to care about my performance? Did you post that on your page? Did you happen to even the fact that Big Drew season? And isn't that a shame?
Nobody.
Isn't that a shame? But then you want to push this whole friendship aspect of things. And this is a beautiful way to segment into this. So many people see my relationships with people who are seemingly influential. Let's add you to the list. Or maybe not. Maybe let's move you front to the list because you've been very lacking on the support end of things these days. But you have the CIC. I mean, I have the CIC. I have the Rick Sleen. Even Lucy Sherman. Yes, she's a lawyer, but she's very influential. She's connected to all of the right people. And, you know, for some reason, it's still, my career isn't booming the way anyone would have hoped or the way I would hope, right?
I think it's a consistency.
Consistency is something that you know more than anybody costs money. No, consistency costs money. It absolutely costs money. Is studio time free? Is promotion free? Is marketing free? Is photo shoots free? Are beats free? So they're not free. They cost a lot of money.
I'm saying consistency,
and consistency
right?
is something that you like to sing a lot. You like to say consistency a lot, but consistency has a fee attached to it. And if people don't have the access to the fees to be able to be consistent, then they don't have consistency because they don't have consistency. If you believe in yourself,
it's called betting on yourself.
No, but I bet on myself. But if you can't squeeze water from Iraq, if somebody says, I'm going to charge you $150 to mix and master this song, but pay me $300 for the beats. What am I supposed to do?
Find somebody that's going to charge $100.
And let's say I don't have the $100. And you know how long it takes to make $100 in America and what type of sacrifices that makes. So consistency isn't the issue. And the reason why artists who get signed to these labels are able to be consistent is because they have a regular cash flow coming in that I wouldn't have, the average artist in Liberia doesn't have. And the things that we have to do to make money require time.
The reason why I might push back on I've for the past couple of months, right, I've been reaching out to giving artists, like trying to like figure how to get artists.
And did you reach out to me?
No,
and
because
all of that is again some of my point. I don't actually care. No. But did you ask?
I don't know your situation.
But did you ask? Guys, ladies and gentlemen, okay, we have one of the biggest Liberian promoters in the world sitting across from one of the best songstress and singers in Liberia, one of the best songwriters, one of the best performers, one of the best vocalists. And at no point in time has he ever reached out to me to do business ever, but wants to preach that friendship is lost in Liberia.
It is the idea about friendship. But
practice what you preach.
No, I do.
Friend.
I told you I had a friend that I helped, right?
You had a friend that you helped, but that's not me.
Yeah, but
I'm not worried about your friend. I'm worried about me.
When you get to you, yeah, we're coming to you.
No, but this is about me.
No, I'm saying, I mean, like, once we sit down and we conversate and we figure out, because for me, I gotta, like, Like I know how to build brands, right? One thing I
For me,
and,
I'm
and
not even somebody that needs a whole lot of like, you don't have to tell me what you have done. I just want to see what you can do for me. That's my thing. Let's work.
No, in order for me to do for you, you have to trust me. You have to know I've done what I'm capable of doing. That's another problem we're facing, right? Is that you will meet somebody that you're gonna know that you want help from, and you want to tell them how to help you.
Well, I'll be honest. When I met you,
Uh-huh.
I didn't know anything about you.
Yes.
You came up to me. Let me tell you how I met my co-hosts, guys, for the day. I was performing at Bamboo Beach. They had, I think it was their opening, and I was performing there. And Jbizz was there he was a December, y'all. I wasn't. I lived in Liberia at the time.
I came in November, not December.
And he came to the show after my performance. He comes up to me. He goes, yo, I loved your performance. I loved your song. You did an amazing job. Do you have a manager? And I was like, oh, right now CIC is managing me. He goes, artist managing artists? That's funny. And I was just like, oh, okay. He goes, well, my name is Jbizz, and I am more popular in America than I am in Liberia. At no point in time did you say, I did this, I did that, I did that. No, but instead of telling me that you're popular, just say like, I'm in the music industry and I would love to work with you. What is it about the artist that you decided to reach out to? Was it that you just assumed that I had my own thing going on and that I wouldn't answer the call?
So once a person in entertainment approach somebody, an artist, like an underground artist, and it tells you have to have a manager, I mean, you.
But having a manager, that mean like you said,
that mean you have it covered because I wasn't offering label service.
But I'm not.
I was going to offer.
For that.
I was going to offer.
But at no point in time did you even just put your. Even if somebody has a manager,
yeah,
right?
I was going to offer you management. Who's
to say that management agreement is working well? Who's to say that is going to be permanent? But you didn't even do so suppose like I was really on the brink of leaving my management deal and
that'd be something you should have said to
moving.
Me.
No,
at that conversation.
No. I'm not going to come up to.
But me, my manager currently.
You were just a regular guy.
That's what you
came.
You didn't do your research.
Why would I do my research? You came to my performance.
Yes.
You came up to me.
So if you meet somebody, if I meet somebody, right? If somebody come to me,
I'm not going to come. If you come up to me, first of all, in December in Liberia, you come up to me and you speaking your series the way you were. I'm not thinking that you're here to do business.
I wasn't really speaking. What kind of you speak on Liberia?
Yes, you were.
I don't speak in Liberia, yeah?
Yes, you were. He was, guys. And that was his first trip to Liberia, to be exact. So you were. You wasn't given on no type of I'm trying to do business with you. It was given I'm trying to holler energy. I'm not saying that you were at any point in time. But that's the guard that goes up. So I'm not about to come and interview you because I'm just like, you're telling me that you're popular.
You thought looking for one more.
I didn't know what she was looking for, but you weren't telling me that you was trying to do anything beyond telling me that you were popular.
So I think we got to do part 2 for you with this because you want to beat me up on this podcast.
I don't want to beat you up on the podcast, but all I'm saying is I have a project coming out. But I'm going to give you an opportunity to redeem yourself as my friend before you get canceled.
We're trying to figure out if you.
I have a project dropping for my 30th birthday in August, and I'm going to be doing a listening party. In DC,
artist number 101.
June 13th.
Artist 101. You don't tell the world your age. Yes.
No, I'm definitely telling you guys my age to let you know exactly how important this is for me.
You don't tell the people your age.
No, that's not a real thing.
He's supposed to be like 23, 22, 21, 26.
Oh, so now I'm old?
No, I'm not saying that.
You're definitely not making your situation any better.
I'm just trying to give you what I learned.
No, I am turning 30 years old. I have been doing this long enough. I've sacrificed everything to be able to do music. I've put off having a 6-figure salary. I've put off having kids. I've put off buying a home. I've put off investing in business, all because I am betting on me. And I'm taking my own finances. I'm investing in putting out a project for my 30th birthday as a gift to myself and to the world and to you. So if you love Liberian music the way you say you do, and you feel like Liberian music deserves more, why don't you show out for me and show me as an example to everybody. No, but that's the real though, because you've done all of these things in the Nigerian market. But the reality is that we haven't gotten it. A lot of the people that you listed were not Liberian
African
artists.
space, though.
A lot of the artists you listed were not Liberian artists. So this is a great opportunity for the biggest Liberian promoter in the world
I did Kissy W
to show
when he first came out.
No. Cut it out.
No, I did
Cut
that
it
promo
out.
tour.
Cut it out. This is an opportunity for the biggest Liberian artist in the world
to work with the biggest Liberian promoter in the entire world.
I mean, the biggest Liberian promoter in the world to show out for me.
Okay.
Show them what you can do.
Okay. We'll talk.
Exactly.
We'll talk. We'll see if the plan in line. As a line, but we're gonna go out with this nice song, this vibe right here from CK herself.
Have you listened to it?
It's a good song. I heard it before. Yes. Thank you for coming today, man.
Thank you for being my co-host, and thank you for allowing me to hijack the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for trying to dig a hole for me that don't exist.
Okay, we'll see you in the comment section.
Go ahead, my man. Take it away. You gonna play this up? Oh, so you don't got public fuck me on that podcast? Yeah, you'll mess me with me.
Go off of where you settle.
You say you want my touch.
No, but it's all of it. It was fun. I had a good time.
No, but you get that piss over there.